Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else, and the video I'm bringing you today is going to be a Stam Necro PvP commentary. Now, this build is on my channel. I have some more clips for you guys to show the build in action. Wanted to show you the survivability, the sustain, just how it kind of works. Now, Stamina Necromancer, as we've talked about in the past, has a lot of issues. Blast Bones doesn't reliably land, which is the biggest issue. It's tough to line up burst. Sometimes on a Necromancer, it does have a very powerful ultimate, which is getting, properly nerfed next patch. But in general, I've found that a lot of people that run Necromancer haven't been finding success. I found something that works out pretty well for me, so I wanted to share more of the build in action for you guys. So I wanted to show how you rotate your buffs, how you survive outnumbered, especially in like a heavy dot meta that we are in currently. Because I'm of the belief that you can wear the same gear sets that I do, but if you don't know how to survive or cycle buffs or work things out in the same way that I do, you're not going to have any success. And so you're going to click my build video and you're going to go, wow, this build sucks, it doesn't work for me. And so that's what these videos are for, is to kind of show you guys how they work. And so then you can take the tips yourself and go try it out and see if it works for you. Necromancer does have some issues, but once you start figuring it out, it is very rewarding to get the kills in the way that you get them. So, first clip that we get, guys, we are outside of Farragle. We just got ran down by a bunch of yellows. We've been here just trying to fight, get some small-scale fights, and all of a sudden a big 24 man came in. My buddy dropped over dead. I had kited for a bit. This was the last part of the clip. I need to get a software recorder so that I get more than 5-minute clips so you guys can see this and I don't have to explain what happened. But anyways, I'm just kind of kiting around because there's all sorts of people in this. Like right now I have 3 people on me. You saw I had a meteor drop on me earlier. You see I'm getting dots. And so I'm just rotating around. And the biggest thing with Necromancer, I tried to do a Blast Bones plus vulnerability also to really catch somebody there. The biggest thing with Necromancer, in my opinion, is you want to make sure you want to give yourself every chance to line up a Blast Bones and a D-Swing. And so oftentimes, guys, especially on bow and 2H build, you're on your front bar a lot, and it takes a while to summon the Blast Bones and then to land the D-Swing. And so you want to make sure you have your HOTS rotated, you want to make sure you have your Intensive Mender up, your buffs up, and you want to make sure you have your rally up all the time so that in case you need that burst heal, you get it. And so then you want to try and get the distance a little bit on people. See this guy drops a little health, I hit him with a quick onslaught. At this point in time, guys, I'm just kiting around a little bit, trying to separate them out so I can focus one person. And so if they're stacked on top of people, like a Blast Bone might land on somebody else, or I D-swing the wrong person and I don't get the burst down properly. So we have one quick kill already. It's me and my buddy in the tower, a red, and then there's just a bunch of yellows running around. So we're not on comms at this point. Me and my buddy here, he came down to fight at Farragle as well. And so he sees me getting jumped on by a bunch of people, and so he decided to help out. And so we have a Mag Sword and Mag DK, a couple other people. We get with a negate here, some Caltrops are trying to slow us down, so we want to make sure we have our buffs up, our shuffle, all that. And I start to see he gets focused in the back here. He's getting hit by about 3 people, and so we're going to summon our Blast Bones, we're going to go in for our D-Swings, we're just going to try and get a burst combination off. Get hit with a Pottle here, pop our shuffle. We get hit with a leap, but the Pottle didn't really get filled, and so it didn't do a bunch of damage to us. If we were taking a lot more damage, we would have had to back up there. I do my vulnerability ult. This guy takes a bunch of damage, and I just don't get the kill. I managed to get like this weird CC animation there, so I didn't get the finishing blow there. Now you see I'm getting hit with a bunch of dots, and now I have the power of the light on me. I want to back up and keep my buffs up to make sure that doesn't hit me for a really damaging amount. And so now we got my buddy's taking a bunch of heat here. We got a 4-on-2 at this point. This guy is going to take a quick D-swing from the Stam Sword in the back. Right before I got to it. Now we get left on again. We just have a lot of survivability. You see these ults, they're just not hitting us for a whole lot. And now I'm just trying to figure out who I'm going to focus. And so I go for the onslaught here. It manages to land, but I didn't get a Blast Bone with it. And so I'm going to cycle my buffs once again. And we're just going to rotate. We're going to see if we can get somebody singled out, like the Sork in the back. So my Nightblade friend goes in on this here, and so I'm hit with a couple D-swings. I thought we were going to get a little bit more burst. I see this guy drop a little health. He gets hit with the Spectral Bow. And so now we have a 2-on-2. And so we have the Mag DK here with the other guy. And so we're just going to dot this guy up. We get leapt on once again. Blast Bones is decides to go on the other guy. He takes a bunch of damage. He drops to low health, but you see the other guy does a really quick move to zap him with Repentance. And so at that point, with the 2-on-2, he hops off the tower, so we decide to focus him down, make sure he doesn't get away after fighting us in the tower. We keep our buffs up because we do have the ads. Ads are pretty rough, especially when you're a vampire like on this build. The fire damage can actually hit you pretty damn hard. So you got to be careful against the ads in this type of build. But you don't run across enough fire damage, in my opinion, to where it's that big of an issue. So we're going to go into our bats right here with our Blast Bones. The entire goal here was for Blast Bones to do something. It finally jumps on the last guy in the back. And so you'll see here that we do have a Magplar with us at this point. But our Blast Bones didn't land when we went in with our bats, and so we couldn't get the finishing blow there. But when Blast Bones does land properly, we will have some very quick bursts that you'll see in these clips. And so this guy puts the bubble on himself, which immobilizes us in place. So we're going to cycle our buffs once again. At this point, I was trying to use Soul Trap over Camel Hunter, and it works out okay. Like if you kill somebody with it, you get a very nice amount of resources. Now you have 4 people here with a random blue, 5 people, 6 people here, 6 reds. And so they're trying to lock me down to Talons. You see I'm getting hit with top of charge. And so now I'm just going to back up a little bit, cycle my buffs once again. Can't really help the Magplar right now because I don't really have any ways to heal him. So I'm just going to kite around the side, eat a D-swing with a snare. And so I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hit with a poison injection, going to hit with my soul trap. Got to summon my blast bones, and I'm trying to just connect the burst. And you see they take a bunch of damage here, but I just didn't line it up properly. And so I go for the onslaught in the hopes that it would crit, and then I could get that finishing blow on the Magplar. That doesn't happen. They drop a Nova on me, and so I'm just going to keep my buffs up. I'm going to stay out of the way of that. And so now you see we have about 5 people on us right now. So now we have to go in kind of into kiting mode because they're trying to hit us with Dark Flare. They're going to defile us a little bit. And so although we do have good healing, eating a bunch of dots plus a defile is not an ideal situation. And so now, once again, guys, we're going to try and separate them out. We have one guy coming in on us. He's with his Crescent. Poison injection. We're going to summon our Blast Bones. We're going to go in with our D-Swing. We managed to get an enemy negate. We can do a couple more D-Swings. And we're just trying to pepper him with D-Swings with the Onslaught. He manages to block it, so it doesn't do any damage. So we're going to pop our Vigor. We're going to heal through. We're going to kite back around through him. And so you see, guys, like, we have high survivability with our damage mitigation, with our resistances. But we also have the ability to dodge incoming attacks with good stam recovery. And so it makes us very tough to kill on this build. And so we're just giving ourselves a chance for Blast Bones to line up properly. We can't be like, I don't think you can be full Blast Cannon currently the way Necromancer is, because you can't always guarantee the burst. And so you want to have some sustain. So now you see we have a Magplar hop it on us, drop a Meteor. I summon the Blast Bones, D-Swing. He gets CC'd, the Blast Bones hits, I execute him, we have 1 down. At this point the Reds move away because they were tired of my kiting shenanigans. We killed 1 person, so now they're going to come back. And we're going to have some revive things. And so this guy's running back to his guy to try and get the revive. We're going to run back, we're going to bash him. We get a Blast Bones with an execute, he drops over dead. And so now we have 2 dead bodies on the ground against 4 more people. And at this point, they're just going to be really focused on trying to get the revive. So you're going to see here they're just going to try and body block for each other. And they're going to just try and get the bodies up instead of, just fighting. So luckily, I called my buddy and I said, hey, like, you got a bunch of people here, they're trying to get the revives. So he came rolling in. We had another random blue come in, so we're just going to keep an eye on the bodies. This guy goes down. He's not CC breaking. And so I try to go for the executes, but he ends up getting healed to full. I onslaught this guy with 1 D-Swing, hits him for 11k. He drops over dead. And so now they're just slowly starting to drop. So we have about 3 or 4 reds left against 3 blues. We got another Magplar here. We do a full heavy. We're going to do a D-Swing outside of the Bogdan. Come on, Blast Bones. There we go. We got another kill with Blast Bones, and, that's the end of the fight. Oh, we got 1 more here, so we're going to summon our dots. We're going to hit with our Blast Bones. We get hit with Poop Rock. Get hit with Birds. He drops over dead. That's the end of the fight. This next fight, guy, is just going to be a little... starts off with 2-on-3. The other blue gets run down pretty hard and he dies on us immediately, so we're going to have to kill these guys by himself. We go for a nice D-Swing onslaught. It's a Stamplar, actually. I think that was a Stamplar. Heals the full really quickly. Did a really good job there. So we're going to summon our Blast Bones here on the Stamplar. We're going to do D-Swing plus Blast Bones. He drops to half health. Luckily we have some ads here. We have some ad health. I know we have a low level person here, but Honestly, low levels, if built properly, can be the most powerful characters in the game, so we're not going to take this entire situation lightly. So we got a Stamplar here, we got a Magplar, and a low-level Necro. And so this guy's off by himself away from the Magplar, so I decided to try and go in on him. That doesn't work. Now we have a Stamplar coming in on us, so we're going to summon our Blast Bones, we're going to hit with a D-Swing, Onslaught, another D-Swing, we get the CC, we're going to try and go for the Execute, so we're block casting Executes, we get the kill. Luckily we managed to get that kill right before this guy hit with a Breath of Life, so we're going to summon a Blast Bones on this guy, we're going to hit with the D-Swing, he takes a bunch of damage right there, he drops over dead, so now we have a one-on-one against the Necro, but the Necro is going to use his Revive ult, so now we have, 2 again, and so we're just going to keep cycling our buffs here. Actually, it's 2 Stamplars, I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I thought that guy was a Magplar. So this guy drops over dead, and now we're getting hit with Crit Rush, and so now we have this guy again. We got to try and kill him before he pops the Revive. So we take, he takes a Blast Bones right here. We hit him with a couple D-Swings. We're going to summon another Blast Bones, Poison Injection, and now he's just trying to stay alive here. Drops to low health, Execute, and he's dead. Just a quick little fight, just trying to show the burst of the class. And so at this point, guys, we're in between Bleakers and Chalman. We see a fellow blue brethren getting chased down, and they have Cloak, and we don't. And there's a shit ton of reds coming, and so me and my buddy decided to back up. You see him coming here. And we're just going to go down this hill here. You see that tree way down there. We're going to try and get them in that funnel, and we're going to try and ulti dump and hopefully get a few kills. My buddy's on a very bursty Stam DK, and I'm running bats with Onslaught, and so we're just going to ulti dump in this funnel, hope to get a few guys down so it's a little bit more manageable. Maybe people go on the revives, and we get a few kills. So I go into my bats here. He goes into his leap. We see a few people drop to low health. Go for the Execute. We get one quick kill. Now you see the Magplar's coming in, healing the other ones to full. We do get a kill there, luckily. And so now we're just going to go on the offensive, make sure they don't get the revives. I'm going to stay on this body. So you see we have 7, I think, at this point. They're trying to get the revive here, so I'm going to bash it. I'm going to cycle my buffs around the tree, pop my Vigor, pop my Rally, keep my buffs up, my Shuffle before I go back in so I'm not snared in place. I'm just going to bash this, and I'm really going to just try and focus this guy going for the revives because we want to make sure he doesn't get this up. So we're going to summon a Blast Bones once again. We're going to go with our D-Swing, with our Onslaught. We catch the D-Swing here with an Execute. He drops over dead. Blast Bones finally hits there. That guy cloaks away, and so I pop my Camel Hunter. He backed up really far, so now we have this Stamplar trying to attack us. They just hit us with Onslaught, and so now they're going with the D-Swing with the jabs. So we're going to buff up once again, keep our healing up. We get hit with Defile Poison, so now the Blast Bones are going off on us again. Another D-Swing, another Execute. We got that one dead. They cleaned up the rest of the guys over there. All we have is a Mag. I think it was a Stamblade left, and they left the fight after a few people dropped down. So, just once again, another quick little fight. I really do enjoy bats on this build, guys, because in that situation where you really get steamrolled, you take time to just go full offensive. It allows you to, it does a good amount of damage, and it allows you to get your Blast Bones with your D-Swing, hopefully CC somebody, and stay alive long enough to get the kill. My Blast Bones goes really slow on this guy, but I don't think it matters a whole lot because we hit him with an Onslaught with the D-Swing. He drops over dead. Once again, we're fighting outside of Bleakers, so it's me and my buddy, and we got a couple random blues here. So you see there's a bunch of reds. We're going to kite around this this little wall here. We're both on medium armor builds. We're both pretty kitey. And so you see they drop their vulnerability ult. We're just going to move out of the way. Bunch of reds here. My buddy's getting steamrolled, so I try to body block for him right here. Pop my Shuffle, go around the corner before I get steamrolled. And we're just trying to separate some people. So you see here we have a guy here by himself. We have Stam Sork. We got another one coming in. So we got 4 people on us. My buddy's getting focused, so I'm trying to go over to him. We're just going to kite around the rocks a little bit, see if we can find somebody that we can take out. Hit with a few javelins. I got 5 people here. We go around here. Our random blue's getting jumped on, so I'm going to come in here with my bats. And so as we're popping the bats, they get hit with another ult. He comes in with one thing. We got 1 body down, a bunch of people at half health. But they're radiant spamming at this point. They got a bunch of heals in the group, but we did get 1 kill in there with what he did and with what I did. At this point, though, I'm at low resources, so now I got a kite. I really went full offensive there, but they had a bunch of healing that I couldn't kill enough people. So I'm going to go around this corner and charge a full heavy attack to try and get some resources. We get hit with a Purifying Light with some Vampire's Bane with a bunch of snares. And so now we're just going to summon our Blast Bones, go for a D-Swing with an Onslaught. They all drop low health. We get an Execute there. We get another quick kill. And now we're just going to cycle our buffs, pop our Vigors, dodge roll back to avoid some damage. We're going to hit with our armor buffs. Summon our Blast Bones on this guy in the back, because, you know, he could probably be summoning. Blast Bones hits him really hard. He's taking a bunch of healing. We got another random blue coming in. And so we're just going to cycle around the graveyard. We don't want to get hit with that synergy. That guy gets focused really hard, not by us. He drops over dead. This other guy's at half health, so we're just going to go for a quick execute. He drops over dead. And now we have 3 remaining players, so just a 3-on-3 after those quick kills. We got a Magplar right here that we're trying to focus. So we're going to do the Blast Bones, D-Swing. Managed to just get CC'd at the perfect time there to where I couldn't get the finishing blow. So we're just going to keep cycling our Blast Bones plus our D-Swing, and then hopefully catch him with some burst here. He does a nice top-lane charge, hits us with a nice crescent. We're going to respond by keeping our buffs up, Poison Injection, Blast Bones, D-Swing, and an Execute, and drops over dead. And that's the end of the fight. And finally, guys, wanted to highlight this build in group PvP. It's not optimal, but I did it last Friday. So I was in I was in chat with a few of my friends, and all of a sudden, more people came in and they wanted to play. So we're like, okay. So we got a 4-man group, and all of a sudden at the same time, it was like everybody kind of got this idea that, like, hey, let's do group PvP. And so 4 more people came in, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we're running an 8-man today. So I ran an 8-man. We didn't optimize by any means. We're all just on our single target builds. We had a couple healers, so we did optimize in that we had healers. And we were looking for fights. The map was pretty dead. When you have an 8-man group, you really want to try and find a big fight. And so we asked a group to come fight us. And so we asked them to bring a bunch of people. They responded in kind and brought a bunch of people. And so this is no disrespect towards those guys. It was actually a very fun fight. They wiped us quite a few times. At the end of the day, guys, group PvP, you're almost never going to have fair numbers. You know, PvP is it's players versus players. And so sometimes you're going to get hit with a 10-on-1, sometimes you're going to get hit with a 20-on-1. And you can be salty about it. You can be upset. But at the end of the day, like, if people weren't XV1ing you, you wouldn't have 1vx clips. So you can't have it both ways. You can't wish that you could get clips and then also get mad when you get zerged down. You know, they go hand in hand, in my opinion. And so these fights are after we took King's Crest. So we took King's Crest, and basically we're trying to, push reds off the inner circle. And so we're pushing reds off the inner circle by, forcing them to come fight us at King's Crest. And so when they showed up, it was about 30 to 40 of them. They kited really well. They did a good job of killing us. We despawned and came back, and now we're at a resource. And so I'm going to drop my vulnerability ult. We're going to ulti dump. We're going to get a bunch of kills here. And in this tower fight, they're setting up siege on the outside, and so we're going to have to rotate around the siege. And so they're hitting us with meat bags. They're hitting us with stone trebuchets. Anytime people are solo like this, we're just going to single target, get the quick kills, build our ultimate, and I'm basically saving for my vulnerability ult at this point, so that when they come bum rush to the tower, everybody else takes 30% more damage with our loot. So you see we have about 5 people here. I dropped my onslaught here going for the quick kill. Got a little thirsty there because I saw somebody at half health. Sometimes you just have to go for it. We're getting hit with siege, so we decided to back up once again. We're going to go on the revives here. And at this point, we've been fighting for a good 30 minutes. So you see this guy hit with Power of the Light. We're just going for some D-swings, get a couple more quick kills. And we're just trying to cycle around here. And so they were getting a little bit more cautious about coming into the tower at this point because we had killed them a few times. And Necromancer is very, very good still in group play, as like anybody that does group play knows. The vulnerability ult is very, very powerful, and it is amazing for group utility because other people are going to hit so much harder if they coincide that ult with their ult. And so you're going to see some really nice burst clips, and so we're just going to de-swing these guys down. We're just going to finish this up, and we're going to try and push out onto the flag once we get the tower cleared up here. So get quite a few kills, and so at this point, we decided to hop off the tower. We want to try and take the flag really quick. We got some guys sieging, and so we're going to push out on the siege. And you see we get left on right here. And so that guy's a more tanky individual, and so we're just going to back up. We're just going to focus the targets in the back here trying to siege. Somebody made a call out that there was a tent in the back, and so we decided to try and get the flag flip so we can get some ads. And so, as I said before, guys, ads are very powerful, and so if you can try and get them on your side to where you can drop a few negates, like if a random negate drops in a pile, like while we're fighting them, it's going to be very effective for taking out large amounts of groups. So we're going to try and get this flag flip, try and get the AP from it. This person's taking a bunch of damage with it, so we get another quick kill there. And so now we're just trying to stack on pin. You see them all coming out the back where they're tents up. And at this point, we're just trying to, like I said, staying stacked on pin, trying to get flipped. And we realize it's just going to be too many. So I know at one point they had a full 24. They might have had a few more. I'm not sure how many they have at this point. So we decided to go back into the tower. We just couldn't get it flipped in time. I get hit with a meteor. And we got a bunch of people at the door. So we're going to try and vulnerability ult the door. We're going to try and keep them stacked. And so we got the healers in the back. We're just kind of stacked at the front. They do a good job of negating the entire lower level. I kind of just cycle around in this area. Now they're all piled up. And so at this point, I was trying to CC break and drop my ult here. Now I drop my ult behind them. We ulti dump. We get a bunch of quick kills right here. Really, really good burst by the group. And so now we have quite a few dead. We're trying to push out and take out these guys. That guy almost died. I heard there's a few more inside, so we went back in to finish these guys off. We got a few up top here, and so we're just going to cycle our buffs once again. We're going to come back inside, and we're just going to, do the same thing we were doing before, not really get caught by siege, not worry about, taking a bunch of damage from that, as well as a big group of players. So we're just kind of stacking on this corner. We're going to ulti dump. My favorite spot's the ulti dump in the tower. We get another quick kill right there. Top of the stairs around that door, or at the front door. And so you see we're just slowly pushing down. We managed to get those guys killed. You see they have a bunch more at the door. I almost have my vulnerability ult, so we're just going to try and push down into this. We got one guy with the healing ult, so we're going to try and single target him once he's out of it. He dodge rolls back into the pile. This guy takes a bunch of damage. He drops over dead, so we're single targeting them. So now my vulnerability ult, we're going to drop it here. We got 2 quick leaps. We got a bunch of people dropping over dead. We got 3 more quick kills. And so now we're just going to push out around to this group over here. We're going to see if we can get these guys killed. Buddy gets a really nice spear there, so we get that quick kill. And so now we're just trying to once again take this group out and get the pin flipped. And so it's just cleanup at this point. I think we have more than they do. And so we're just trying to finish these guys off, hopefully get them off a cooldown. They're going to come back because they can't have us at King's Crest. Like, if they let us go, guys, we were just going to take the King's Crest. And if they're going to let us take King's Crest, we were going to take Arius. And we were just going to take a bunch of stuff behind them. So they have to push us out of here. This last part of the fight was the last 5 minutes of our fight here. They started spreading out a lot more because, the vulnerability ult is tough to stack on. And so we're just single targeting people down, basically just rotating around the siege, trying to find spots. You see we got hit with a negate there. It's a different skill. Like, group play takes a different sort of thing than single target. You see we got a bunch of people here. I have my onslaught. I'm trying to save for my vulnerability ult. They really pushed hard there. They did a really good job of that. I think we had a buddy drop a leap, and so we got 2 quick kills there. So now we're going to try and stay on the body. I try to go for a few executes. Now they're piling in behind. I want to make sure they don't get the revive, so I'm going to stay here, get them to back up a little bit. And at this point, I almost have my vulnerability ult. So we're just going to keep cycling the buffs. I'm going to meet back up with the group. We're trying to figure out where they're pushing from the most so that we can drop this ult and get a bunch of kills and then wipe the rest of the group. So we got 4 on the right, 3 on the right, 4 on the left, and this guy's dropping a healing ult, so we can't drop it there. We got Siege coming in behind us, and so we got 4 or 5 more people coming in. So this guy leaps on us. We all take a bunch of CCs, so we decided to single target him down. He drops over dead. And now we have a pile behind us, so we're going to drop our vulnerability ult here. We're going to go in with a few leaps. Couple of D-swings. We got those 2 deaths down. They back up. We get 2 more kills right there. We're going for the executes, trying to get this guy down. We get another kill there. And now we can just start to attempt to clean up the tower. They have a bunch of people reviving behind us. And so at this point, we're just getting sieged everywhere. And so we decided to try and retreat up to the 3rd floor just to get out of the siege and recoup some resources. Our healers really were working in overtime for this entire fight. There's just a lot of damage coming in, and they did a great job of keeping us alive. When you're fighting this outnumbered, you really need some good healers, and yeah, we had some good healers. So now you see them all at the front, and they're all stacked up there at the mage guard, and so we're just building our ults. And so we see that They're starting to siege the top really hard, so now we're going to try and catch them on this platform. When we get our ults, they all come piling up at the same time, and so we're taking a bunch of damage there. You see the proxy that's coming in, the healing ults coming in, they're coming in with other ults, so we're going to drop off. We're going to go around the back, away from the siege, and you know, just wait for those ults to stop. So our healer gets hit with a meteor there, and one of our guys drops all the way off the tower. So we get one guy that accidentally dropped down by himself, so we get another quick kill there. We're gonna turn around, we're gonna cycle back through, and we're gonna get another quick kill here. And then this guy's trying to pop healing. We get hit with some siege. We're trying to finish this guy off. He drops over dead. And so now we're just regrouping back up. We got 4 or 5 on the left. We have 6, 7, 8 on the right. I'm going to drop my vulnerability ult right here. We're going to go in with a bunch of leaps. We're going to take out a bunch of people once again. They all drop over dead. And so we're just trying to push through, but you see that there's a bunch of siege going on. And so now we're going to recycle back up to the 3rd floor. Recoup our buffs. Get everything back in order so that everybody can you know, keep fighting. You can see I'm at full resources. Like I said, this build is not spec'd for group play like this, but the vulnerability ult kind of carries in that situation. You know, this build becomes good for group play because of the vulnerability ult. So we're just gonna, we see where we have a remembrance cast on us, and so we're just gonna buff up. We're gonna wait for him to try and push up once again. I'm trying to build my vulnerability ult before they pile in on us. We got 3, 4 people here on the right side. Getting hit with a bunch of siege. We got 3 siege coming in. Guys take a bunch of damage, so we're gonna go to the back of 2 so we don't get hit with something hard hitting. And yeah, like I said, this is a very fun fight. It was very cool these guys to come fight. And honestly, guys, I wish more people would do this. Like, a lot of people think objective base is just pushing in and taking empty keeps, but the thing is, guys, playing defense is the same as playing offense. And Red already had this this campaign won at this point, and so this was more for fun than for anything. If you look, they're all stacked up on the mage guard. I have my vulnerability ult, as you can see right there. I get really thirsty here, guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this pile. Let's push in. And so I go to drop my vulnerability ult. They do a good job of the gate. We drop the vulnerability, we get leapt on, we get CC'd, and now they're going to drop a bunch of siege. We get a bunch of kills here, but you see all the siege coming in. We get hit with a Stone Cold Trebuchet, and 2 of my squishier brethren hit me with a Vicious Death proc, and I dropped over dead. So we went from fully healed to dead instantly, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm pretty sure those guys decided to stack on that front pin so that they could drop 3 siege on us and just shit all over us. I'm not gonna lie, guys. When you see that many people all stacked up and you have a vulnerability ult and your 3 DKs yell that they have leaps, your eyes just kind of light up. And so I thought we could hit it and get out. And those Stone Trebuchets hit really hard. Like, I hit for 15k on this build, and then obviously the BD procs, and as you can see, like 3 of those and we're dead. So, anyways. Very fun fight to those guys. We had a blast. Hopefully, I did a good job explaining this build in action for you guys. It's a lot longer clip than what I'm used to. If you guys have any questions, as always, please comment in the section below. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.